Hello everybody, it's Daniel from Wines by Jennifer, and today I'm going to tell you how to predict a white wine's sweetness. Now the first thing that I want to say, and the main thing, is check out the alcohol percentage. It's usually on the back of the label and somewhere on the side of the front if it's not on the back. Now Moscato, one of the sweetest white wines available, is in between 5 and 7% alcohol typically. And what happens in the fermentation process of wine is the sugars get converted to alcohol by yeast. So if you think about that, the sugars that are in the wine get converted to alcohol, so they're no longer there. Once they're converted to alcohol, the sugar is no longer there because it's now alcohol. And if you think about that, the higher the alcohol, the more sugar has been converted. So the higher the alcohol, the less residual sugar or remaining sugar. One fact that I do want to point out is that if it's a less expensive or not the best winemaking practices, sometimes the alcohol percentage will not matter at all because they could dump a bunch of sugar into the batch and it could still be super sweet and high in alcohol. So don't always think of this as a 100% foolproof method, but if you're dealing with high quality, well-made wines that are from prestigious wineries, then you can rest assured they're not doing any of those bad practices. So this Riesling is at 13%. That's about average for a Chardonnay. So you would expect this wine to be very dry. Now Riesling itself is typically a sweeter wine and is naturally higher in residual sugar and acidity. So with that said, this is kind of a unique grape to try and guess how sweet it's going to be, but typically 10 and above on the alcohol percentage for Riesling is going to be on the drier side. Now 10 and below, in between 9 and 7 is going to be a medium sweet, below 7 is very sweet, and above 13 is almost always going to be bone dry. Again, it goes back to how much sugar is in the grapes whenever the fermentation process is starting. Now the second and final point that I would like to say is that if the bottle is see-through and you can see the color of the wine, if it's a clear glass, the more straw golden colored wines are typically sweeter. Now you can have grapes like Chardonnay where the wines are naturally that color and are going to be very dry. But if it's a wine like Riesling or Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Grigio and it's more of a straw golden color rather than a pale green crisp color, then chances are it's going to be sweet. The next time you're out browsing for a bottle of wine and you're wondering how sweet it is and it's a white wine, check out that alcohol percentage, and if it's above 10, then you're probably in good shape that it's going to be a drier wine. Now this method does not really pertain to red wines for a number of reasons. Now most of the fine red wines that you're going to see in the stores are not going to be sweet, and the ones that are sweet have probably been manipulated. So enjoy this little bit of knowledge and use it to your advantage. Thank you guys.